Hello, welcome to the Nintendo Bros podcast. This is Pete.
And this is Derek.
And we're back to talk about some news. Derek, how are you doing?
I've been doing really well, enjoying my last few weeks of the summer. Played some new games that I'll talk about at the end of the podcast.
Great, because there's been some interesting Nintendo news recently, surprisingly. More than I would have expected in August.
Me too, to be honest.
Yeah, so I guess we'll go one thing at a time, because the Nindy's Direct was, 2 weeks ago now? A week and a half ago?
Yeah, I think it's early last week.
That was, the feedback, so, I know we're kind of late to talking about it, because it was a while ago, but it seems like people really were happy with everything they showed. I'm usually kind of like behind the times when it comes to what's good in the indie world, but from what I saw, there seemed to be a lot of great games, although there are a couple things missing. What did you think overall?
Overall, none of those... How do I explain that? A lot of the games that I saw, looked like really solid games. Like, they all looked good in the whole trailer. I don't think there was any like kind of major stinkers. They all looked quite good. But nothing for me personally stood out as like, yeah, I gotta have that. Nothing was the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and nothing was the Hollow Knight. There's no game that I saw that was like, damn, that's a game that is now on my radar. They're all kind of like, oh, that's cool. I'll see if the reviews do well, or kind of, wait to hear more about it. Nothing really blew me away. That's the better way to put it. I liked it. Nothing blew me away.
Yeah, so, to be honest, nothing ever truly blows me away in these Nindies, unless it's like, something like Zelda, that Cadence of Hyrule.
Or Ori 3.
Yeah, Ori 3 exclusive to Switch.
Shadow Drop.
But, if they had shown Ninja Turtles again, that would have been cool, but they would have needed a date. Now I'm worried that game is delayed. I don't know. I really hope that comes out this year, because I want it.
Yeah, was it 2021 or was it summer 2021? I can't remember what they said.
They said winter, I think, 2021.
Okay, I still have faith. People are predicting September Direct, but we can talk about that some other time.
Yeah, okay, maybe that's a place to shadow drop that or something. But anyways, there's a few interesting games that I saw in the Indies. Like, there's this one called Bomb Rush Cyberpunk. Kind of looks like a Jet Set Radio from Dreamcast.
That's the one, yeah, skateboarding, and then they also had parkour in that, right?
Yeah, it's like skateboarding and parkour at the same time, and it looks really fluid and fun how you move around, and kind of just looks like a natural. It looks like what Jet Set Radio 3 would have been, sort of.
When I first saw that, it actually reminded me of I don't know why I thought of this game, but the Aerial Knights. Do you remember that the other Nintendo game, the other indie, the Aerial Knights? It's like another parkour. Never Yield. I just checked it out. Aerial Knights Never Yield.
I have
it's like another parkour.
Heard of that in my life.
It's another indie game that was showed. I think last time we had an indie direct, and it was like basically another parkour, but it was like a side running one.
Oh.
Anyways, it just made me think of that, so that's what I thought it was.
Never heard of it.
Oh, I'll check it out sometime.
The next game they showed, Toem, looks really cool too. The picture taking game. The style is amazing.
Yeah, I thought that was a cool idea where you go into the camera and it changes to first person view. That was really cool.
Yeah, this is probably my most wanted game from the whole thing, to be honest. Toem.
I probably won't get it. But yeah, I think this is probably one of the ones that looks the coolest. I'm not a big fan of the black and white games ever. I know it's a budget reason, it's kind of a style reason. But I like colors personally.
Yeah, okay. Fair.
Especially in a little bit. This is gonna sound silly, and again, I know it's style, but it's also a picture game. So for me, like taking a picture in black and white it's not really in my interest.
Yeah, but I think it's a different style of game where it's more about like the animation style is very like cartoony in the 1950s. It feels like.
Yeah.
So maybe they're going for that vibe, like a little bit of a Cuphead old school vibe.
It does look really cool, though. It's a cool idea, and it's one of the more interesting games I've seen in the Indie Direct.
I think it could be one of those games that's a takeoff hit.
Yeah, it reminds me kind of like the Untitled Goose Game, right? One of those kind of weird out there games that ends up taking off.
Yeah, you know what? I didn't like Untitled Goose Game.
Really? I never actually played it because I just, I thought it was too expensive.
I liked it for about 10 minutes of laughing and fooling around, but then like it has some pretty complex little puzzles, and I just wasn't in for it. I was like, okay, I can't just go and muck about. Like, it's not open world. It's like it gets to a spot where you can't really go further unless you do very specific things.
Yeah, I heard there's like 3 sections, and you have to do each section at a time.
Yeah, and I was kind of like, oh, okay, that's. I thought I could just go around and wreak havoc. Anyways, let's not talk about Untitled Goose Game. So like 30 minutes later, it's the Untitled Goose Game podcast. Okay, Loop Hero. I know people love this one. I've not appealed to me at all.
I have friends that have played this, and they said it's super fun. Again, I don't really love roguelites, and this is kind of one of them in a weird way. Yeah, I think, if this price is right, if I found it for like a couple of dollars, I would give it a try. It's not my personal cup of tea, but for those that want to check this out, to me, this is probably the game that will be the most liked by indie fans.
Really, like the highest reviewing, highest sales.
Yeah, I know Loop Hero was huge on Steam. It was people just really liked this
just
game.
looks like the kind of game you might want to play with a touchscreen or with a mouse, like not a controller. I don't know, just from the screenshot I'm seeing here.
I mean, I don't really know. It's a cool idea though. It's like it's basically you build a dungeon, like a circle track dungeon that an AI hero goes through, and your goal is to put monsters and challenges in front of the good guy, but put them at a tiered system so he keeps getting stronger and stronger and stronger. So like you're basically the bad guy, and like you're designing the dungeon
as they're looping around it.
Yeah, but it plays like a turn-based RPG, I think. But you're not controlling anything. You're just laying out the monsters in the town and the chests so that it can, like, the AI can keep progressing and progressing, but not be too hard that it gets destroyed.
Cool. Okay, that actually does sound interesting.
Yeah, it's a cool idea.
Well, I don't know. Keeping my eye on it. After that, they showed Far Changing Tides, or I guess Far : so it's Far Breath Changing Tides. It's not Far Changing Tides. What? That's a weird.
I feel like Far has been a game before. That's what I'm.
Okay, you're checking it out. Okay. Well, this one actually looked kind of cool. It just looks like one of those games where on Switch it's gonna run at like a janky 25 frames a second, and then like 4 years later on Xbox Series X it'll run at 120 frames.
Yeah, so there is a game called Far. Just to inform, there's a game called Far Lone Sails.
Okay, where you kind of did a boat thing and.
Yeah, so then they made a sequel called Changing Tide. So this is the sequel to Lone Sails.
You know what I was thinking about while watching this is what if they made a Donkey Kong Country game just like this, where like a boat just kept going, and you could swim below. And I don't know.
I guess. I mean, that's like a wild idea to never.
It just reminded me of Donkey Kong Country, where Tropical Freeze, where you could dive in the water and it'd be like a whole nother section of the world. Like that seemed to be the style of this trailer, at least.
That would be cool if you had a 2D Donkey Kong game, like an open world Donkey Kong game, but like when you traveled from island to island, there's like a 3D part where you can kind of pick 7 or 8 islands, and then like they just sprawl into this huge 2D world.
Yeah, that would. I kind of see what you mean. That would be cool. Anyways, Necro Barista Final Pour was what they showed next.
Visual novel. If people like visual novels,
coffee, and you know what? I'm glad that there's a lot of visual novels on Switch. It's just not my genre, really.
Yeah, so I've never played one. I think I'm tempted to really try In the House of Fata Morgana just because it reviewed so disgustingly well.
Okay.
And people say it's better than like most books and movies that they've played and seen or read and seen.
The only one I've ever played is Ghost Trick and Hotel Dusk on DS, and I also played Phoenix Wright. So those 3 are kind of my whole basis for the whole thing. So, but Hotel Dusk has like little bits of gameplay, and so does Phoenix Wright. I don't know if these visual novels they do have little bits of choice, right? Where you choose.
Yeah, it's a little bit of like choose your own adventure, but I think it's like a choose your own adventure book.
Okay, because like none of these games are just visual novel games. Just have you reading the entire time. Do they? Like they actually
I don't.
all. Have
I'm sure
they're all interactive, right?
I'm sure they do exist, but I think they're interactive, and I think some of them may even be interactive, but behind the scenes, everything leads to the same outcome.
I see.
Do you know what I mean? It's like did you sneak into my room? You can say yes or no, and then like no matter what you say, they'll still end up ending the same dialogue where like they don't trust you.
Yeah. True. Okay. Well, I might get what's it called? The new Phoenix Wright for Switch.
Oh yeah, that one looked kind of cool. I never played a Phoenix Wright game or Ace Attorney. I know those aren't related.
They are. They are.
Oh, okay. I've never played either of them, and they're always a series that keeps popping up, but never jumped in.
It's a good one. It's like you're a lawyer.
It's like you talk to people and you like build a case, and then at the end you have to actually prove it, right?
Yeah, this new one is a remake. It's 2 of 3DS ones that are like remade.
Yeah, that never came to North America before.
Yeah, so I might play that while I'm on the plane for France. It's kind of It's kind of a thing for a plane. Yeah, it's a thing for a plane ride. If I'm not playing No More Heroes 3.
Are you getting No More Heroes 3?
Only if it gets good reviews. I don't care. Like, I'm a review whore. I don't care. I'll admit it. Like, if it gets above 85 on Metacritic, I'll probably be much more interested. But it looks. Here's the thing. It looks like the best No More Heroes game by far, and I like how there's like they've like the action scenes look really well done. There's like they've added a lot of complexity to it, and it doesn't look like there's too much time in that janky overworld, but some of that footage was like 15 frames a second, and I really want to hear that that's not the case. You know, because it's really, really janky going through the overworld. But we're going to talk about overworlds in a minute after this finish up. So let's finish up with the Nindies here. I'm trying to segue here. We have Garden Story. Any interest in that?
I honestly didn't watch that one thoroughly enough to really understand what it is. Is it like a Stardew Valley, or is it?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. I mean, we'll see how it goes. I mean, I've already had my share of that, and if it is like Stardew Valley, again, I don't know if it is. I would pick Stardew Valley over it. But I'm reading right here. It looks like it's kind of like an adventure puzzle, like you help a town out. I'd probably check that one out again. I do like this graphic style more than the other games in this direct so far.
Really?
But yeah, I like that kind of more pixelated, kind of cleaner art style.
Is it fair to say, though, just at this point in the direct, they've shown a real wide range of variety of indie games?
I would say so. Not just genre, but graphics.
And
all the graphic styles are different. All the genres are different.
And in this order. And like most of these are going to be either day one on Switch or exclusive on Switch.
Yeah.
Or time exclusive, I think, is most of them. The next one was Boyfriend Dungeon, which seems like another kind of like a top-down dungeon crawler with some dating sim storyline.
You know, it's funny. I thought this game looked really kind of stupid. But then I was reading online, and people say this game looks really, really good. So maybe I just am not in the dating sim video game world and how well made they normally are. But I just heard people like saying this looks awesome for a dating sim. So I was like, oh, okay. I don't. Again, that's a genre I really have never stepped foot into.
I think it's like you like defeat monsters and then you can turn them into boyfriends and then you have them and power them up. It's kind of like a weird take, almost like a Shin Megami Tensei with the dungeon crawler.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. Yeah.
Anyways, I mean, I have so limited time, and to me, the more a game has crafting or a story or that resource management, the less I want to play it.
Mm-hmm.
I want to play a game that's
you play
hard.
Breath of the Wild,
and I hope they cut down on the crafting in the next one and get more action,
really?
Less breaking of items, more action, more. I'd love that. Like more more deep mechanics there, more challenging enemies. Anyways, next was Axiom Verge, which was
Axiom Verge
2, which was shadow dropped on Switch. The first one was on the Wii U, interestingly enough.
And I played that, and I thought it was pretty good.
Did you play it on Wii U?
Yep, I played it on the Wii U. I don't think I got it day one, but I think I saw a sale one time.
It got pretty cheap, I remember.
Yeah, I think I might have paid $15 or $20 for it.
Oh, you overpaid.
Okay.
I'm kidding.
I mean, I liked it. I was looking for a Metroidvania, and it does scratch that itch. It's actually, I think, one of the first times I played a game that was a Metroidvania, but also like one that was trying to be very, very similar to literally Metroid. And I thought it was very apparent why Metroid is good after playing that game. Why Metroid is actually hard to replicate. Not that Axiom Verge 1 was a bad game, but it just, there was things missing or things that weren't quite right about it that made me realize, I wish it had this. Metroid would have done this properly. So I think I overall gave the first one like a 7.5 or an 8. In this one, I was reading about it. Apparently, they've completely changed the gameplay. It's totally different story, totally different gameplay, like completely different. It doesn't, when I was watching videos, this one doesn't really interest me as much. And again, I was only happy or enjoying the first one, so I don't know if I'll grab this one at all.
Yeah, I mean, I was on the fence about it, but I think I'm just going to wait for Metroid Dread to really jump in. And if anything, I'm just going to keep playing through Super Metroid, or I might even try to beat Metroid, the first one. Like, my mind is too much on Metroid to really get it. Because what's going to happen is I'm going to buy this, get halfway in, Metroid Dread. I keep saying Metroid Other. Metroid Dread's going to like have trailers and start coming out. I'm never going to play Axiom Verge 2 again after that,
Yeah, and to be honest, if I was going to buy, and no criticism to Axiom Verge 2 and the people that love
it actually looks like a good game. That's why.
Yeah, it looks like it's a solid, really good game. If I was going to, currently though, if I have a Metroidvania kind of list of games I want to buy, the next one I really want to buy is Ender Lilies, that I think I talked about last podcast. Looks really cool. So that's the game I would get instead of this if I was looking for a Metroidvania right now.
Is that out yet?
Yeah, it's out on Switch and Steam, I think.
Okay, interesting. Any interest in the next game they showed, Shovel Knight Pocket Dungeon?
I'm not a puzzle. I don't know what these games are called, because I like puzzle games, but I don't like these kinds of puzzle games, if that makes sense. Yeah. Like, I like puzzle games like The Witness or Baba's You, but games where it's like, match colors or line them up, or like Bejeweled and Tetris kind of things. Those aren't my style of game.
Yeah,
it does look really well made for a puzzle game though. Like, it looks beautiful. Looks like it has a lot of kind of cool stuff going on. So, just not my style.
Yeah, I mean, if I play one of these games, I want to play something like Tetris 99 or Pac-Man 99. Like, to me, the online stuff is where this becomes fun.
Yeah.
There's even Tetris versus Puyo Puyo 2, which is apparently the best. I was listening to the IGN podcast, and they were saying at least one of them said it's the best puzzle game like this on Switch. Anyways, yeah, I'm not that interested. And also, I mean, is this made by Yacht Club Games still? Like, they just make every genre with Shovel Knight, huh? They're just like Shovel Knight.
I think Yacht Club Game has kind of stuck with Shovel Knight, in my opinion, almost too much.
Yeah, they did publish another game this year. What's it called? Cyber Shadow.
Oh yeah, I think I liked that game.
I loved it. I beat the whole thing. I thought it was great.
Yeah, I just I wish they'd use Shovel Knight IP a little bit less.
Yeah, same.
It's like they don't need it. It's like almost every genre. It's like just.
It's like, has there been a sequel to Shovel Knight yet? Like, I'm confused now, right? So
they had like they had like 3 expansions to the game, but they never had a full-on.
Like,
sequel.
sometimes it's just about having one great game, maybe one spin-off, and then like a few years later have a sequel.
Exactly.
You know, and everyone hypes the sequels. But I don't know. I guess Shovel Knight is pretty popular. People like everything they do. It's a popular brand. Next is Islanders Console Edition. This is like a SimCity kind of game, but I don't know.
It looks cool. Like, I'm a big fan of builders like this, like SimCity builders. I've played a few. I played Factorio, Satisfactory. I liked all the sim games. Civilization, if that counts. This looks cool. It's a kind of an interesting take. It's a roguelite where you get points to build things, and then when you run out of points, you have to like start again, but your max points has been increasing. If that makes sense. Like, you get your max points to build stuff keeps going up and up and up, but when you run out, you have to start again, but you still retain your max points, so you can over time build bigger and bigger cities on these islands. I don't really know what the drive is. Like, I want to see more about, can these buildings research certain things, or, kind of get into the realm of almost like a clicker. Like, if I do this, it speeds up this, which speeds up that, which makes me do more of these. But again, it's cool. It's for those that like these building kind of games. I would check this out. Maybe look more into it.
Yeah, it's getting
I think I will.
Pretty good reviews.
Okay,
Has
cool.
a
Yeah,
78 on Metacritic. Has a few 9s and 8s, and then a few 7s.
nice. I'll check it out.
The next game looks really cool to me, Metal Slug Tactics, and that doesn't come out till next year. But I might be down for this. This kind of looks like a mashup of, I want to say, Advance Wars and Fire Emblem.
Oh, that's not okay.
Sorry, I mean more on the Fire Emblem side, right? Because it's more like a isometric battle map.
I would say Final Fantasy Tactics.
Yeah,
is
more
what it
like
looks like.
Tactics, but isn't does Tactics have a movement like this? I guess so.
I don't know what. Yeah, Final Fantasy Tactics has grid-based movement. This literally looks like Final Fantasy Tactics, but Metal Gear skin.
You need Metal Slug.
Metal Slug.
Well,
sorry.
it looks sweet to me. Like
This is the game where I messaged you. I said this is the game that looked the coolest to me.
Yeah.
Like as soon as it was showed, I told you about it. Yeah, the Metal Slug has always been known for beautiful pixel art. This game looks gorgeous. I love tactic games like Fire Emblem or Final Fantasy. Yeah, so this game actually is one of the games I probably will get.
Yeah, next year.
Yes, yeah, whenever it comes.
I wonder if it'll be multi-platform though. Doesn't mention that it's exclusive.
Yeah, I would be surprised if it.
I think it is coming to everything.
I think it is coming to everything else too. Yeah.
Yeah, this is definitely one that I might get. It looked really beautiful, and it almost make me kind of sad that we're not getting any Nintendo games made with pixel art graphics anymore. Like I would even take a Kirby or a Wario game. Like nothing, it'd be so good to get that.
I'm surprised. That's the one thing downside of no dedicated handheld anymore.
Yeah,
because even on the 3DS or the DS, we had a lot of those kind of well-made pixel games.
I know. I wonder if they'll ever go back to that. I mean, apparently it's almost easier to do 3D. Like it's very time consuming to do every single, like, just do the art for every single animation frame.
I think it's the idea of like same with movies, right? Like CG versus like hand drawn animations. They're both difficult. One's obviously more like complex, but once you kind of get the foundation of your Pixar character, you can animate them a lot easier than having to draw 125 slides for Snow White walking.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Good way to put it. You just summarize it nicely. Case in point. Tetris Effect Connected. Finally on Switch. I believe this is on every other system. I played it on Xbox Game Pass. But I believe it was on PSVR. It was a big PSVR game. I thought it was cool. Like, I mean, it's a cool way to play Tetris with a lot of visual effects. But I mean, it's a one and done. Like, there's so
the connected edition is new, right?
I think it must be an updated feature. I think it's just called Connected because it has cross-platform multiplayer with other games.
Oh, I thought it also had that weird co-op thing too.
Maybe that's Switch exclusive. I don't know, but I wouldn't be surprised if Tetris Effect Connected comes out on everything.
I'm sure Tetris Effect Connected might already be out on other systems, but I didn't know why, because I know it was originally Tetris Effect, and I didn't know where the Connected name came from.
Yeah, me neither. But it's good that it's on Switch now. I mean, it's a great Tetris is big on Switch, but to me, I'm always like, well, I'd rather play Tetris 99. I don't know. I love the competitive nature of it.
To me, if I was going to play any Tetris, it would be Tetris Effect, but unfortunately, the Switch is the last system I would play this on.
Yeah, you don't want to play it on a 4K. I mean,
HDR, mind blowing.
You have like every pixel exploding. You don't want to see that at 30 frames a second. I'm sure Switch can handle. If Switch
at
does
720p,
do 60 frames, it's like barely able to keep up with 1080, and it's I don't know. It's a little muddier.
The Switch was weak when it came out, but the fact that it's a handheld too is something to be said.
Well, when Switch came out, it was weak for a console, but it was strong for a handheld.
Exactly.
And now it's just like kind of showing its legs, where it's almost just
it's almost weak. I mean, as soon as the Steam Deck comes out, it's quite weak for a handheld too.
Yeah. Steam Deck is a lot bigger though. That's a whole. We never even got into Steam Deck.
We can. Yeah.
Okay, let's get to this last. There's one more game on the Nindy's Direct here. We got a whole other Direct to talk about. Eastward. This game actually looks really cool. It's by Chucklefish, and it's like a kind of an adventure. It almost reminds me of Geomon for Super Nintendo.
I don't know Goemon, you mean?
Goemon, yeah.
I don't know if that's pronounced properly. I don't know that game very well. I like Chucklefish. They're the guys that made, or I think they just
Didn't they make the
Stardew Valley?
Stardew Valley, yeah.
Yeah, I just don't know if I can't remember if Chucklefish actually made them or they just are the producers of them.
Oh, it says published by Chucklefish, developed by Pixbill.
Yeah, so I think Chucklefish is a publisher that has published a lot of great games, but I think they're very helpful and they pick good games to publish. I think
It's smart for a lot of these developers to launch exclusively on Switch, because Switch seems to own the indie market.
I couldn't agree more.
Now, just to transition that into Steam Deck, Steam Deck to me is I don't know if it's actually going to take over Nintendo's market. I think it's
Oh, I don't think it'll take over Nintendo's market. I'm just saying, power-wise, it's going to be way more powerful than the Switch.
yeah, and we've talked at length, I guess, what we think about that. I mean, we could see a new Switch Pro as soon as the end of 2022 or 2023. I think my prediction was Switch Pro launches with Breath of the Wild 2 in March 2023. That's my ultimate prediction.
Okay. Yeah, I don't really know anymore. I could go on and speculate, but I don't know.
Fair enough. That's the point. That's the point of the podcast.
Well, if you want me to, I mean, I feel like we've speculated on that several times.
I know.
So
yeah. Okay. Let's not open the can of worms, because
you missed some. By the way, Eastward looks good. You missed some games that were mentioned in kind of the highlight reel at the end.
Oh yeah. Anything?
Do you want to talk about them?
Nothing really caught my interest, but anything that
the only one that looked kind of cool to me is Lumberjack, or it's like Lumberjack but with bear.
Okay.
And the reason it looked cool to me, and the reason I actually wanted to say it to you, is when I first saw this game, I thought it was made by the team that made A Short Hike. It looks very similar in graphics, and it looks kind of similar in the sense that it's a very casual, probably a short, easy game, but probably a nice little open world where you're just cutting up trees and getting another chainsaw or an axe.
I'm watching the trailer right now, and this is a day one for me.
That's what I mean. Like I saw that game, and I was like, the first thing I did is I'm like, Peter's gonna like this, and I thought Peter, I honestly thought it was made by the same guys, because it does look the same or similar to
a little higher resolution though. It looks nice though. The graphics are smooth, no frame rate drops or anything. Looks great.
Anyways, that was like one of the games that really stood out to me in that highlight reel. I actually paused and rewound to watch it again.
Okay.
Yeah, so I
that
think
one went right by me. Thanks for pointing that out, because I'm all over Lumberjack. And was there a release date on that?
I don't remember. I'm right on Lumberjack.
Coming 2022. Damn it! It's not even this year.
It's okay. It's coming eventually.
Okay. Well, anyways, I thought overall the Nindy's Direct was pretty strong. Like, I mean, it didn't really appeal to me directly, and I was disappointed not to see a few things. But overall, I thought I hit a lot of buttons that people are gonna be happy with. So,
I'm the same. For games that we didn't know are out or coming to the Switch already, this was a pretty good lineup. Not for me, but I think people like it.
I would say it's like an 8.5 or even a 9.
Oh, I'd be like more like a 7.5.
Oh, I don't know. I think some people
to me that's like solid. It's solid, but there's nothing amazing.
Lumberjack, Derek. Lumberjack.
I didn't even know about that game.
Well, now I do. That's why I was gonna say 7 or 8, and then now it's a 9.
That's new game of the year 2022.
No, I think Toem is gonna be the game on the game of the year list this year. That's how good it looks. Anyway,
yeah, let me know.
Anyways, let's move on. Let's talk about this Pokemon Direct that happened just the other day. Did you watch it?
I did.
Yeah, I watched I watched it like after the fact. I didn't watch it live, so I just kind of watched I didn't watch everything for what was it, Diamond and Pearl?
Yeah, I didn't. I skimmed through that part too.
Yeah, but I watched the main trailer, and I watched all the stuff for Pokemon Arceus Legends. So, Derek, why don't you lead us off? What did you think about Arceus Legends?
I thought it looked infinitely better than the last time we saw it. Enough to get me excited. I still want to wait for reviews because there are still some things that I'm on the fence about, but I think I'm much more likely to get it now for a few reasons. One, because this is really the first jump into the open world Pokemon kind of game. So I want to support that because I want them to say I want the Pokemon Company to kind of pursue this direction. The other thing I really liked is I thought it was super cool that it's not just catch 150 Pokemon or level them up. There's a whole bunch of different kind of ways to fill out that Pokedex, where it's like imagine seeing an animal for the first time. You're not just going to take a picture and walk away. It's, what does it eat? How does it move? What does it fight? What moves does it have? What are the boy and girl versions? Male and female versions. So there's a lot to each Pokemon, which I think is kind of cool. It adds a depth to learning about them. Mm-hmm. The other side to that coin, though, is that makes me worried about how many Pokemon are going to be actually in the game. If they put that much detail into each of them.
Looks like there's a lot from the trailer, though. I mean,
I know it looks like there's a lot. And the thing that's funny is, I don't know if you noticed this, but I was watching and I felt like there were a lot of Pokemon in this that were in the game Pokemon Snap. And I think that they made Pokemon Snap or started working this game, and they just carried those assets, same models. And there's a lot of Pokemon that are in both games. So I have a feeling.
Well, doesn't it have to do with them going back to the original? Aren't they going back to the same spot as an original one, or I don't know the Pokemon story,
but they're in the Sinnoh region, but it's like 1,000 years in the past, or however long.
And the Sinnoh region is from Red, Blue, and Yellow.
No, right? that's Kanto. Sinnoh region is. I'm looking this up right now. I think it's
one of the originals, though. It's one of the beloved originals.
It's not one of the. It's the one from Diamond and Pearl.
Yeah. Okay. So one of the beloved Game Boy Advance ones.
No, Diamond and Pearl were not Game Boy Advance.
What were they?
DS.
Okay. DS ones. Okay. Yeah, that is weird. I wonder if it is...
I just think they're just picking different regions, and I don't think it's going to look anything like Sinnoh.
So
it's just
you know what caught me off guard? Like, I liked seeing some of the spots where your trainer can die from Pokemon. That's exciting. Mm-hmm. I also was wondering if there's gyms, or are you going to fight other trainers? Because that'd be a very easy setup to have, and I just wonder if it's going to have that level, because is it going to be just a Pokemon Snap in an open world, like where you're getting?
It's not Pokemon Snap. There are going to be Pokemon battles, and they showed them. But I personally don't think there are going to be any trainers or gyms.
What about bad people that throw their Pokeball at you, and you throw their Pokeball at them, and your Pokemon
maybe
fight?
I mean, I just think they would have showed. I think they would have showed that by now. That's what I think.
But I mean, if you're already throwing a Pokemon at another Pokemon and fighting it, and initiating a turn-based battle, that's how it works, right? Like, you basically run around this big world. You can look at Pokemon, sneak up on them, run away from them, and throw Pokeballs at them. But you can also throw Pokemon to fight with them. Am I right? And then it initiates a turn-based battle.
Yeah.
So how hard would it be to have a little dialogue between some bad guy out in the open world?
I don't think it
and all
would
of a sudden
be
they're
that
like,
hard.
Well, why don't you fight us, kid? And then all of a sudden it initiates that turn-based battle.
I don't think it would be that hard. I just think that they would have showed that by now.
You think? Because they didn't show a whole lot last time, and now they showed us more, and they could show us even more in November.
Yeah, they could. I mean, you're right. I really don't know.
I mean, I'd be surprised if there's not gyms. If this is a traditional Pokemon adventure game, if this is going big-time Pokemon adventure, don't they have to have gyms? Isn't that one of the staples?
No, because this is like before gyms existed. This is before the Pokedex existed. They're building the Pokedex. And I think I'm going to say it's a little bit like Xenoblade Chronicles X, where you have your hub world and all the people are together, and then you go out and there's no people fighting you. You're fighting monsters or, looking at the Pokemon. That's like saying, why in Xenoblade Chronicles X aren't you doing mech versus mech fights?
Yeah, I get that it's not built into the story. I just figured it...
I know what you're saying. I just think they would have showed trainer battles at this point.
True. I mean,
I think this game is more of an exploration game, and I think this game is a proof of concept game. Can we do this? Can it look good enough and be filled enough, fit our budget, and sell well enough for us to go down this route at all?
And it looks like they're actually going full Breath of the Wild on it, where it's not just like preset paths you can go. It's actually to like open
Go
areas.
anywhere.
It's actually big and open, one load time. You can go absolutely anywhere and go over mountains and go over this way and that way.
Yeah, I think that's its best selling point, and the Pokemon looking pretty good. I mean, they obviously had to make some pretty serious sacrifices to, the density of trees and the textures to achieve that kind of seamlessness. But I've never thought Pokemon was going to look fantastic or have, crazy dense environments. But the fact that I can go anywhere and catch Pokemons in different places is cool enough for me.
Yeah, so for me, it's not really a Pokemon guy. Like, I was kind of surprised to see on Reset Era how much people didn't like it. I mean, when I first watched the trailer, I did watch it on my phone, and I thought it looked really good. And I was like, wow, this looks really good. Like, you can go anywhere. There's tons of Pokemon. You can fly with the Pokemon. You can ride that one. There's fights. There's this town. There's a story. There's, like, it really looks full fleshed out. And it didn't look like there's horrendous frame rate drops. Like, it looked like it all ran pretty stably. And I thought the graphics, while simple, they still kind of work in a weird way. Like, it all kind of comes together, like, much more than Pokemon Sword and Shield. I don't know if you saw the wild area in Sword and Shield. Like, it was janky and things popped up in front of you and it was 25 frames a second. This looks way better than that. So that was my first takeaway. And I don't know. It looks fun. I just was kind of looking for that more, I don't know, something more traditional in the Pokemon, with the trainer battles.
I mean, again, they still could be there. They could be there. And I a part of me really expects them to. I just am surprised they wouldn't have shown that because... if they want to show that, you still have that core Pokemon gameplay, I think they would have shown that.
I guess this is not the next generation of Pokemon. This is actually just a whole different thing. Pokemon Legends, it's a different series.
Yeah, I think this is a spin-off. Yeah, like a different series, and I could see them making Pokemon Legends, Xerneas, Pokemon Legends, Celebi, and like just doing different, 100 years later, different island, same concept. Mm-hmm. But yeah, this is definitely not the mainline series. I don't think.
Well, it's going to be a huge game.
I think it's gonna sell amazingly well.
Yeah, like 20 million even.
I think it's gonna be the best-selling Pokemon game ever.
You think it'll, think it'll be bigger than that? But even though it's a spin-off, you have to remember that. Like, there's no gyms, there's no battles, there's no trading, there's no online, there's no 2 versions where you have to collect every single one, and then like, there's a whole different side to this that. It isn't really the next Pokemon game. That's what I was hoping it was. Like, this was to be the actual leap, and from now on we'd see this style. And I think we're getting there. I think this is kind of the test of concept. Like, I think if this works and people enjoy it and it reviews well or sells well, then they go, well, Sword and Shield, they kind of did that mixture of both. Now they just got to put all these things and all those things together, and you have a pretty awesome game. Yeah. I mean, I think the wild area from Sword and Shield and from the DLC, those 2 wild areas, I think that was the test for this, and you're right, this is a test going forward. But it does, I don't know, like, it's on my radar. I don't know if I'm fully convinced I'm going to buy it yet, but the trailer looked good to me, and I just hope there's a lot to do in the world, and there's a lot of action, and, I want action, I want survival. I don't want to just, like, run out and craft and fill up a bag, and then run back and empty my bag, and then, like, run out and get more in my bag, and then run back and get something, and, like, and just forever craft. I hate that stuff. And I know I heard that it said crafting was in the game.
Yeah, I don't know what the gameplay loop's going to be. But. So I mean, I'm still interested in it. Again, I'm still on the fence, but I'm more leaning towards I like what I saw than from the last trailer.
Yeah, same. It was pretty impressive. They also showed off Pokemon Diamond and Pearl again. What is it? Shining Diamond and
Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl.
Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. Now, this one, to be honest, like, for a bit was kind of on my radar, like something I wanted to buy, even though the first trailers got a lot of hate for the look. Because it's like, this is, to me, something I'd rather play than Sword and Shield. Like, I'd rather just go back and play the classic turn-based, simple Pokemon.
I mean, not everyone agrees with me, but a lot of people agree that this and maybe X and Y after are the peak Pokemon games. I personally think that this is the peak Pokemon game.
Like, it's the best one.
I think it is. This is my favorite one. I played Diamond. It was my favorite one. And I played X and Y. I really loved that game too. I played Black and White. They were pretty good. I played Sun and Moon. Hated them.
Black and White 2 was good too.
I never played Black and White 2 because I didn't realize they were actually a brand new game.
Probably a lot of people didn't realize that.
Well, I
It's
just
the
thought it
only
was
time
like
they did
I
that,
thought it was
right?
like just like we're seeing how Diamond and Pearl have platinum. Like how there's the third game always comes out.
Yeah.
I thought they just decided to make a 2 and 2 and instead of making a gray.
Yeah, I see.
But yeah, so I if there's one game I would tell you to try and see if you like Pokemon, it'd be that one.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just a kind of a weird looking game. Like, I don't love the like chibi kind of overworld graphics. I don't love it.
But you barely. I mean, like it's all top down.
That's what I figured, and it's really just replicating a pixelated graphics. Like to me, the thing that's kind of interesting about it is if it was on like playing on the Switch Lite, it'd be great. Like it's the kind of handheld experience you almost want. But on a big TV, I'm just kind of like, really, like this is $90.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And it's weird because the battles and even the character models in battles look great. Like they look a little bit more full figured, kind of like they would in like the Pokemon Trainer in Smash Bros. Mm-hmm. And it's just kind of like, oh, why didn't you go with this for the whole world? Like,
I know it gets tricky though because they do. If they're gonna keep it true to the original, it still has to be tile based.
I guess.
So,
yeah, I guess you're right.
It would just look kind of weird if you have a full looking character can only walk up, down, left, and right.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
I mean, like I don't know. I wish they did do that because I agree with you. I don't really like the graphics on the overworld. But yeah, I understand. One, they don't like to spend a lot of money on those things, and two, it is true to the original, right? Like they've kept it authentic.
Yeah, so that's what I don't know. That's what kind of makes me want it. I think, it's almost like this Chibi update is a little bit like a Link's Awakening. Sorry, I was almost had a Link Between Worlds. In that
I was thinking the same thing. That's the game I was going to name too. Yeah, Link's Awakening.
And I remember not liking that look until it came out. So I don't know, maybe I'll kind of come around on this one.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm not going to get it because I'm kind of Pokemon mainline gamed out. But yeah.
Yeah, it's like, do I really want to buy Pokemon Diamond in November? And then two
When
months
Pokemon-
later,
yeah.
Arceus comes out and it looks way
If I had
better.
to pick a choice, I want to do the more experimental game.
I do wonder if people will hold off on buying. Like, I wonder if Diamond and Shining Diamond and Brilliant Pearl are going to sell like disgustingly well, or what? Being remakes.
They'll sell disgustingly well, or as well as all the remakes sell.
But remakes don't sell as well as mainline games, do they?
Not as well, but they still sell it well.
Like, I wonder what it'll sell more: Arceus Legends or Diamond and Pearl.
Oof, I'm gonna say Diamond and Pearl. Well, that's tough. It really depends. I thought Legends looked really awesome, but if you said that people online didn't like it as much, I don't know. That could be a coin toss.
I never know how Pokemon fans feel. Like
Pokemon Legends is to me a game that's either gonna sell ridiculously well, or sell above Pokemon Snap, but nothing fantastic.
wow.
It depends if people see this as. It just depends if people see this as, whoa, this looks really awesome, I have to get this, or, oh, it's a spin-off, this doesn't interest me. I don't know whether the general Pokemon people or fans or mass public sees it as this.
Yeah, you're right. And honestly, I think it needs to have, back to what I was saying, the gyms and the action and this more intense storyline. And like, if they release a nice story trailer with some of that showing that stuff, I think that'll get people really into it. Because like, how much cooler would it be running around the open world and like running into other trainers who want to fight? Or other, like making it more fleshed out, like a big.
But just make Pokemon Legends 2 and they'll have that. I just think when it comes to Nintendo, I keep my expectations tempered now, and when it comes to Pokemon, I keep my expectations even further tempered. If there's something you want in a Pokemon game, it's not in it.
There's one thing I don't keep my expectations tempered for, and that's whatever Sakurai does.
Oh yeah, me too. Yeah, for sure. He
and
knocks
whatever
he
Retro
knocks it out of the
Studios
park
is.
every time.
And I don't keep my expectations tempered for Retro Studios or Next Level Games.
What is Next Level Games make?
Luigi's Mansion 3 and Luigi's Mansion 2 and Punch Out and
yeah, I agree.
Metroid Federation Force.
Yeah.
Okay, so in other news, it seemed like what was it, today or yesterday? Quake came out for Switch, and
Yeah, I didn't know that till you just told me a few minutes ago.
I'm really surprised you didn't know about it because it sounded like pretty big news.
I thought I read about a rumor that it was going to come, but I don't think I actually saw the news until you mentioned it.
Yeah, it basically leaked the other day, but it
Okay, maybe I saw the leak.
yeah, so it's out for every system: Xbox on Game Pass, PS4, Switch, PC.
It's only $10.
Yeah, and it has remastered visuals, old plus new DLC, and Quake 64, local and online multiplayer with crossplay. Like, to me, I'm gonna buy this. To me, the whole hard thing is, do I buy it on Switch because I want it for Switch, or do I buy it on Xbox? I think I'm gonna have to get it for Switch because it has. I'm hoping I'm gonna read some impressions and probably see how it runs on Switch, because I'd rather have 60 frames on Xbox for free. But at least
Yeah.
with Switch, I have it on handheld and I have gyro control.
So just fill me in. You might know more about Quake than I do. I always mixed up Doom and Duke Nukem and Quake. I always thought those games. I had trouble differentiating them. Quake was originally very similar, right? It's the first-person shooter games like Doom and Duke Nukem.
Yeah, exactly, and it was made by the same company as Doom, I believe, id Software, but it's like an arena shooter, so you kind of you play online, and it was one of the early online games.
Oh, so there's no campaign.
No, I don't think so. The campaign is probably like just you're thrown in, and the level is like, oh, kill everyone in this stage, and then you'll be.
Because I'm looking at a screenshot that looks like they're killing monsters. That's why I was asking.
Yeah, but it's probably like you're in a state. I don't know because I've never really played Quake. I've just played it online, so I'm excited to get it. But I think it's kind of like you're just put in the same multiplayer maps, and it's almost like a what's it called mode where like enemies rush it, like a rush mode.
Yeah. Well, cool. I don't know if I'll get it, but it looks cool. I'm all the power to the people that want it.
Yeah, I mean for $10, it's hard not to say yes.
I know that's the one thing I was thinking about too. It's a good price, and especially if I convince a bunch of friends to get it on PC, even just like a couple hours of fun would be worth the cost.
Yeah. Well, we can get it. We can play it. It's crossplay.
Oh, even with PC? Okay, awesome.
Yeah, should be crossplay across everything. It's
I know
dedicated
sometimes
servers.
they don't do PC just because mouse and keyboard can give it unfair advantages.
Okay, well let's. Sorry, I mean,
I feel like we're having a tired night today. We're very
I know.
quiet and less animated today.
Yeah, I'm pretty tired.
Yeah, me too.
So let's talk about what we've been playing. I haven't been playing anything, so it's me just asking you questions now.
Yeah, you've been busy. I haven't played much.
I haven't.
So I
literally turned my system on. I think I turned Xbox on to download Hellblade, and I just haven't got through playing it.
Oh, the first one?
Yeah, the second one's not out yet.
Second one's not out. Yeah, okay. That's why I was asking. Because I was surprised if it did. Yeah, so I have 3 games I want to talk about. All 3 games I played in the past week.
Okay.
And I have positive things to say about all of them. So the first is Returnal.
Yeah, you mentioned to me you think it's your game of the year now.
Yeah, so it was $25 off or so about last week. Decided
Physical copy, right?
physical copy. I said,
Okay.
screw it, I'm just gonna buy it. I was kind of getting tired of Hitman. I'm almost done Hitman anyways, and I figured my next game's not until Metroid Dread in October, so I might as well just buy Returnal.
And when you see it on sale, you mean like you saw it on Best Buy's website or something?
Yeah, so I have all my games that I want on like Amazon, and then when they go down in price on Amazon, I check every other store because I don't want to buy from Amazon. So usually my preference is I'll go EB Games, and then Best Buy or Walmart, and then Amazon.
Okay.
Yeah, but lowest price always wins. But usually they match each other. So anyways, bought the game on I want to say Thursday, and I surprisingly beat the whole game in a day. It was not as hard as I thought it was going to be. I must have just had lucky runs or something.
You seem to be extremely good at those kind of games.
Yeah, I think I was also just very good. But I played really well, and I don't know, I just did well. Because I know some people it took them like 30, 40 hours to beat the game. It took me like 6 or 8 because I just, you go through the first half in one sitting and you go through the second half in one sitting.
Mm-hmm.
I think I died twice before beating the game. Loved every second of it. The moment I finished, I wanted to keep playing. I went through and got the platinum for the trophy. The platinum trophy for the game. And even after this, and this is unbelievably rare. I haven't done this for, I don't think, any single game. Usually when I get the platinum trophy, I put the game in the case, I put it away, and I say, that game is done. This game I took out, and then that evening I actually took it out from my collection again and put it back in just to play more of it. The game is so good. It feels so good. Amazing
You mentioned
graphics.
it's like a kind of like a third-person Metroid.
Yeah, so that's what I was going to get to is I told you that I wish or I hope that if they ever go and do a third-person Metroid, kind of like Other M, they can't get Housemarque because they're owned by Sony, but they talk to them or they get companies that emulate them. This game, I think, is exactly the direction third-person Metroid could go. Of course, I don't want it to be a bullet hell Metroid game, but this is exactly the atmosphere is amazing. The exploration sure could be bigger in Metroid, but the exploration in this game is awesome. There's a lot of things to find and secrets. The combat is fast-paced, tight. The shooting feels good. All the particles and visuals all look amazing. To me, everything about this game is phenomenal and screams that Metroid would fit perfectly in this style.
Wow.
So, yeah, I would rate this game like a 9.4, 9.5. The biggest downside that I told you is I wish there was more content. And I know some people, it took them a lot longer to get through. But after I got through, I did multiple runs. I've upgraded almost every single gun. I found every single collectible. I've got the platinum. And I still played more after. But I would love if, instead of 6 worlds, there were 12 or multiple branches, or there were a few more guns. Or one of the things that I really wished is there was more opportunities to use the late game guns. Because you only get the highest upgrades at the end, and it's like, well, I'm already at the end anyways. Why do I need to get the best gun now? I'm already at the end.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, so anyways, that game is my game of the year now by a country mile.
Wow.
I second place is probably It Takes Two, and phenomenal game, but nowhere near Returnal. Returnal is like,
how are
to
the
me,
haptic controls?
Oh my god, feels so cool.
So you kept them on the whole time?
Yeah, the adaptive trigger.
Yeah.
The adaptive trigger, especially for the left hand, you have to have it. And it doesn't, like I told you, I think Ratchet and Clank, it hurt my fingers after a while. This game, oh man, the left trigger is so cool. So you pull it down halfway, and you feel that stop halfway, and that's your aim down sights. But if you pull it a little bit further, you get to your secondary fire, which is a super blast of a gun. It feels so good to do that. I almost wish I hope more games do that, where there's 2 actual buttons on your those triggers. It was so cool.
Isn't it interesting how GameCube kind of started that?
I know, with the pressure sensitive kind of stuff for like Mars Sunshine.
Yeah, there's like one more click you could use.
If there's one game, at least right now, that I would say is a must play for you who doesn't own a PS5, it's this one.
Wow.
It's so good.
I mean, I would buy a PS5. I'm not opposed to it, and Returnal is going to be one of the games I buy when I get it.
Yeah, anyways, I couldn't, any listener that is on the fence about this game or on the fence about a PS5, this is one of those games to check out. It's freaking awesome. Anyways,
sorry, I was going to say, speaking of PS5, are you going to get Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut?
I will. I never even got the first version, so I definitely want this game.
The PS5's the place to get it now, because you skipped it on PS4.
Yeah, of course. Exactly. Yeah. I'm going to get it PS5. I'm going to wait, though. There's other games on my list, so I might as well just wait. I have about 5 games that I'm keeping an eye on, and whenever the first one drops in price. So yeah, there's about 5 PS5 games that I'm watching throughout this year.
Yeah, you gotta let me know the moment Resident Evil. Did you grab Resident Evil 8 yet? Find it on sale?
Resident Evil, it dropped to $65. It's back now at $80, at least on Amazon. I'm waiting for that game to drop more to like $40. So I have Neo Collection, Resident Evil Village, Scarlet Nexus, Ghost of Tsushima, and then Tales of Arise and Deathloop. Those are the 6 games this year that I'm waiting for. Any of them to drop in price, I'm grabbing.
Not No More Heroes 3?
No, and Metroid Dread is already a day one because it won't drop in price.
Yeah, true.
Anyways,
what else have you been playing?
Some other two games. I played the Tales of Arise demo. Speaking of Tales of Arise,
You mentioned, yeah.
yeah, I think it's awesome. The last Tales game I played was Tales of Symphonia, and I only played maybe 20 hours of it. This game, it's visually stunning. It is without a doubt the best looking Tales game. Like it looks such a leap forward from the Tales of Berseria, like the most recent Tales. It looks truly amazing.
I know it's had a long development cycle. It was delayed for like a whole year.
Yeah. So, and I think it was worth it.
Should I try the demo on Xbox? Maybe
100%.
Because I like Symphonia too.
Because it's a demo. I beat it in like 30 minutes. You don't have to explore all that much if you want to go to the end and try the combat a bit. And you can play one character the whole time and just learn that character. But you can play the entire game the entire demo as any of the 6. So you can actually learn how each of them controls and how they're different and find them out. I only played as one character the whole time.
Okay.
It feels so good. The combat feels awesome. It feels fluid. It's straightforward. I think there's depth to it. It reminds me of Tales of Symphonia, the same kind of, all 4 of your characters are just casting spells nonstop and crazy, their signature moves, and they're shouting out all of them.
Cool.
So yeah, it feels cool. The one downside I said to you, and I'll say it to our listener, that one guy, that the pop-up is really bad. So check it out. If you do download the demo, check it out on the Series X, because the PS5, it has bad pop-up. It's like, I'm not kidding, it's like 4 meters from your character pop-up.
Oh, that's bad. That's like worse than Pokemon RCS looks.
I know, yeah, but it's in a weird way for me. This is going to sound crazy. It almost worked because in my head, I was visualizing it as the pop-up is my range of sight, where it's like, I know it doesn't make any sense. It's kind of like
you're gamifying it, basically.
Yeah, it's like and like D&D, if you're playing Dungeons and Dragons, like your vision range is 30 feet. It's like, sure, you can see stuff further than 30 feet, but you can only see like clearly those things. Anyways, it wasn't that bad, but you will, if you look for it, it's very obvious. It's like things just keep appearing.
Oh, that's lame.
Yeah, but try it out. It really does look good and it plays well.
Okay.
And the last game that I've been playing started about 4 or 5 days ago.
When does the Tales come out, the full game?
September, I want to check. It's September 10th, I believe. Let me just double check.
So the demo was like almost a month ahead.
Yeah, September 10th. It comes out in like 4 weeks from tomorrow.
I think
three weeks from tomorrow.
I think I'm gonna end up losing some points on that one on our Metacritic.
I think it's gonna review quite well.
Yeah, because I said 78. You said like 85, right?
I think I said 81, 82. But the
feedback's
people
been strong.
Yeah, I was gonna say the feedback. People are really liking it, and the music's great too. Anyways, the last game I've been playing on PC is Valorant. I don't know if you've heard of that game.
Yeah, it's like a survival shooter game, right? Online?
It's not a survival. I don't know if I would use that word. It's like CS:GO, a Counter-Strike, mixed with Overwatch. Okay. So you have a heroes and they all have their own individual powers, but the objective of the game is just like Counter-Strike, where you have to plant it's like 5v5 elimination. Like once you die, you're dead for the round. You have to plant a bomb or defuse the bomb. It's super fun. I've got all my friends to play it. It's free. It's made by the same team that makes, or the same company or developer, not developer, but producer, that makes League of Legends, Riot Games. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's just, I'm terrible at it. I'm always the last place person. I'm not a first person shooter player at all or online player at all. But yeah, super fun. I recommended it if you have a PC that can run it. It's well optimized. It's smooth. It's fun to play. It's free.
And it's mostly, the guns aren't like futuristic. They're like
old school. Right? It's truly this. It's Counter-Strike. So all you buy at the beginning of each round, you can buy a shotgun, a submachine gun. They're normal guns. Mm-hmm. Everything's normal. But then every character also has like 2 or 3 moves of like, this character can put up a smoke screen. This person can slide on ice on the floor to move quickly. But they only get so many of them around. You have to buy them.
Interesting.
It works really well.
Huh.
Yeah, I like it a lot. It's probably my favorite first-person shooter on PC.
Wow, okay. I don't have a PC to play it on, so I guess I can't really play it, can I?
No, yeah, it's only PC. It's actually only PC only. It's not even a Mac yet.
Well, Dream is dead. So what are you looking forward to? What's the next game you're buying? Is it Metroid?
The next game I'm definitely buying, I've already bought it, is Metroid Dread.
Yeah, same. I don't know if I'm gonna get a September game.
Yeah, so I'm just keeping an eye out, like I said, those 6 games, whichever ones drop price whenever they do.
Mm-hmm.
And then the only ones I'm for sure getting this year are Metroid Dread and Battlefield 2042.
I might not get Battlefield 2042 after I saw some of the gameplay.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Because I'm only getting it to play with you because I have no one else to play with. So if you don't get it, I don't get it, which is
It's like,
fine by me.
Day of, you're like, I got it, and then I'm like, hey, I just think it's gonna be a game where we're gonna be running around and not ever finding each other. And
you know what's funny is now that I played Valorant and it's free, I'm kind of like, why don't I just keep playing that game? It scratches the same itch for me.
we got to find something to play online eventually.
Well,
That's crossplay.
we could play Dying Light. I don't know if Dying Light 2 will
What
be.
about Back for Blood?
I heard that game didn't get a lot of positive feedback.
No, it's just Left 4 Dead.
No, it's not. The Left 4 Dead part of the Left 4 Dead, like the campaign where you could be the enemy but still have that campaign happening, they did not put in Back for Blood.
Oh,
Like you understand, like, so like in the normal game you're humans and you do a mission
yeah.
and you can do counter play where like you can be the monsters in the mission, but like the humans are still doing the mission.
Okay.
In Back for Blood they don't allow you to do that. You can either play the missions or you can play monsters and humans, and it's a totally different mode. It's like a horde. It's like a horde mode.
Mission mode isn't. I didn't know the original did that. That's really cool.
My friends and I played Left 4 Dead 1 and 2 all the way through, where we just took turns being humans and monsters, and we just went through the entire campaigns. It's wicked fun.
Wow. I was kind of hoping this one would be that, because I never got to play that back in the day. I never really had a system to play it on.
I mean, this game, if you want to play with humans, this game will be similar, like you're doing the co-op, but you're just not playing against.
Yeah, that's kind of the fun
zombies.
of it, though. Like knowing that the zombies are actual people is kind of what makes that cool.
Exactly. And the thing is, I mean, I know you don't know too many people that would have that game or play it, but for me, I had that group of 8 or 10 guys, and it's the most fun is when you have 4 and 4, and we we separated into teams and we went on different Discord chats. So like it's just really cool where you're communicating with your 4 and the other 4 are out there talking and planning their strategies.
Wow.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Well, I need to get an online games. Yeah, so we got to figure. Yeah, what else is out there?
To me, Dying Light 2 is the next game that I'm seeing on this list.
Does that come out this year?
Yeah, it comes out in December.
With crossplay?
That's the thing I don't know.
Oh.
But if it does, I'd be down for that.
You should just get an Xbox Series X or Series S this year. Then we can play Halo campaign co-op.
Why don't you get a PS5?
It's probably easier for you to get an Xbox Series S than it is for me to get a PS5.
Yeah, but it's also more money on my end.
Not in the end. Because if
Well,
you get
depends.
a Series S,
I know, yeah, but I mean, I think I'm going to wait a while. I'm going to wait till the first good exclusive comes out.
Yeah, fair. Which could be soon.
Yeah, Halo.
Yeah, they don't have a release date for Halo yet.
I know. Don't you find that a little weird? It's like 3 or 4 months away, hopefully.
Yeah, watch it be like December 19th or something.
Watch them come out in October and say we're delaying it till May.
Wow, no. Watch them come out and say, oh, the online multiplayer is coming out, but the campaign comes out next year.
Yeah, that's what I think is the most realistic. The fact that they really put that clarity and emphasis the last time they showed it off on this is the multiplayer and we didn't talk about the campaign. You know what I mean? Like they really clearly, like I remember the image. They actually had a line through and said the Halo Infinite and Halo Infinite multiplayer or whatever.
It's funny how for some people Halo is just about the multiplayer, and for some people it's just about the campaign.
Mm-hmm.
Like for me, the campaign is the main meat and potatoes. The multiplayer is kind of like the side dish.
I agree.
So I hope it's still coming out. I mean, you're right. Like by mid-September, if it's not announced at all, it's gonna be a little bit like, okay, is this really happening? I know they showed Call of Duty the other day, so maybe they'll just kind of come out soon. There's got to be an Xbox and PlayStation announcements happening soon.
Yeah, I would assume so. Yeah, I don't know.
So who knows? They have games to announce.
Really, you should get I mean, we should find a you don't like playing computer games. That's the problem.
Well, I
'Cause
don't.
you
I don't have a gaming PC.
I know. Well, you have. I mean, your computer's pretty powerful, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
It doesn't have a lot of RAM and a GPU.
It
And,
has 64 gigs of RAM.
yeah, but what's your graphics card?
I'll tell you right now.
Well, I mean, it probably has
Intel UHD graphics 630.
Yeah, so Intel. So I don't know how good that is. I mean, I'm sure you can run games because the thing is like Steam has free games, but also a whole bunch of cheap games that are just kind of fun to pick up and play, and they're so easy to play online.
Huh.
Anyway, something to think about.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't really know about other multiplayer games. They're not a lot. Honestly, not just multiplayer. There's not a lot of games coming out this year, I find.
I know, it's like getting less exciting by the day. I wonder if we could play the new Far Cry together, crossplay.
Oh, is that co-op?
Don't they always have it?
I don't know. I've never played a Far Cry game in my life.
It's Far Cry 6, I believe.
Yeah.
I think it has. I don't think they know.
Oh. Yeah, I'm just hoping for some single player games to play. Like I'm almost done my backlog, so Tales of Arise is actually becoming more and more tempting just because I know it'll be a long game. Like, well, I hope it'll be a long game. You know, a good time sink.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm pretty much just waiting for Metroid.
Yeah, okay. Any games you playing or going to be playing soon?
I might try Quake out.
And what about The Evil Within?
I still haven't gotten around to that. It's too scary to play by myself. I still am only at the end of Chapter 3.
Oh my god.
So I really want to play Hellblade just to see what that's all about.
Okay, yeah. Let me know how that is because I really wanted to buy it for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, I play a little bit of GameCube here and there.
Oh right.
Yeah.
How's your GameCube collecting going?
Pretty good. I've been selling a few games actually. So I sold a few of my lamer games today, the Harry Potter and third-party games someone wanted. So
nice.
Made $60.
Well, you recovered $60.
I recovered $60. Well, it came in a big bundle of. A bundle that came with a system, a controller, and like 8 games. So, just trying to recoup some costs on that one.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't really bought much recently. I know I have someone that has Turok Evolution on hold for me.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, not really. I mean, the only one I really want is the Mario Strikers and Wario World, and these games are $100 each. So it's really kind of like each one's a big buy. You know.
Just ask for one for Christmas from Vanessa.
Seriously, that's what I was gonna do on Christmas, and I would be like, "Hey, I want this game," and in brackets like complete in box. Civ. I'll put Civ complete in box, or else I don't want it. Because, like, yeah, I have 2 versions of Pikmin 2. I have the American and the Canadian box art. Mm-hmm. Neither have an instruction manual. Such a piss
that
off.
sucks.
Yeah, it's such a piss off. But then on the last big buy of games, I got Luigi's Mansion 3 with a manual, and it's mint condition. So they didn't realize what that was worth. So it's like you kind of have pluses and minuses, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Lucky that I held on to PN03, the Capcom game.
Why, is it worth a lot?
It's like worth $80.
Okay,
that and Code Veronica was worth a lot. So, yeah.
Cool, Pete.
Yeah, so I don't know. Anyways, not too much gaming on my end. By next time that we talk, 2 weeks from now, I'll have gone to France and come back.
Oh, really?
And I leave in less than a week.
When do you leave and when do you come back?
I leave on Tuesday and I come back in September 6th.
Okay, yeah,
like
so
10-ish days.
3 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe 3 weeks, and then hopefully there'll be some exciting gaming news, some big announcement, a new Earthbound, a new F-Zero.
Are you gonna have phone service?
Pikmin.
Like, are you gonna have phone service for me to text you all the cool stuff?
Yeah, I'll have phone, but I'm not bringing my laptop, so I won't be able to
Like watch
do anything. Yeah, I'll watch my phone though. If they have a surprise Nintendo Direct announcement, you better believe I'm watching on top of that.
You better believe.
I'm like standing in front of the a Mona Lisa, like not paying attention because I'm on my phone looking. I'm like, wow. Everyone's like, wow, isn't it so amazing? I'm like looking at Nintendo games on my phone.
It's like the middle of Christine's wedding. You're like in the back just watching a direct.
It's like there's another like one of those short Metroid trailers that shows nothing, and I'm like, whoa, I gotta go watch, watch every like analysis video. Yeah.
Cool.
Anyways, yeah. So yeah, we'll talk in a couple weeks. But thanks for joining me tonight, Derek.
Yeah, thanks for talking with me. It was fun.
All right, this is Nintendo Bros signing out.
See you later.